All right, gunline. It's Lopez here, and sorry for the delay in the drop. It's just been a hell of a week so far. I know it should have been out last night, early today for y'all enjoyment, but it's gonna still come out tonight. And as of right now, it's just me and Hunt. We just chilling out here, hanging out, talking about some shit. And I was debating about doing this podcast or not today, but honestly, after speaking with Hunt, this is one of the reasons that this podcast came about. And so it's gonna deal a little bit. It'll start off a little heavy. All right, just fair warning. It'll be a little heavy, but eventually it'll get light. You know what I'm saying? Just prior warning. No, I'm not gonna fucking off myself. I got 3 fucking kids and a wife, and so I'm not gonna blow my fucking brains out because is the 400,000 worth more than my life right now? Probably, but it's not worth the trauma that it's gonna put on my kids. So no, I'm not gonna off myself. But with that being said, welcome to the On the Gunline podcast, where we shoot the shit like we did out in the field. And sometimes when we're out in the field in between rounds and fire missions and shit like that, we have conversations with those that are close with us, close to us. We try not to show it in front of the soldiers because any kind of weakness can be at least the way I was brought up and thought of, and this is before the military. Any weakness will take away from you as a man, and I think that's one of the things that we got to deal with as a society, as a military culture, that it's okay to get in your fucking feels sometimes, and I got it. I fell into a depression about 3 years ago. All right. I've been hitting this depression, and it really took its toll back on January 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's an anniversary date from back in 2006. And it really fucking hit me. Like, it almost damn near broke me. But with that said, I started thinking to myself and reflecting, like, why am I always putting on the face of a happy person? Like fucking, I try to, show like everything's all crimson and clover, everything's happy, I'm gravy, it's awesome out there. But internally, I'm either angry or I'm, just, I don't want to say sad, but like emotionless, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I want to feel, but the feelings that I'm having are more of anger or fucking frustration. Frustration, I think, is the one that's the most like on there. Like, I'm just fucking tired of being tired, and go ahead, Hunt.
It seems like you're frustrated that you, in my opinion, because I'm not a psychiatrist, but like because I deal with those same emotions, right? It's like with me personally, I get frustrated because it's like I can't express how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I get frustrated. It's like even when I used to talk to my therapist, I still would get frustrated because it's like, yeah, I'm telling you this, but it's like I'm not doing anything about it. There's still something in me that wants to feel something more than what I'm telling you. And it's like it's frustrating because I can't get that feeling that I fucking want.
You can't express it.
I can't express it.
Dude, like, I mean, there's times where the frustration gets to me where I literally just want to punch somebody or kick them in their knee just to see their kneecap bend backwards. And I get that that's not a normal, natural feeling, but I really want to do that, and I wish I could put that feeling into an audible, fucking articulatable word or phrase. It's just frustrating. And I don't know if it's just me being an asshole because I'm an asshole, or is it, any of my experiences from the past, or anything like that. I just don't know. And it doesn't help that the fucking VA has been putting my ass out since August 2021. I've been waiting to get a goddamn appointment. Yeah.
What, bro? How? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Like, I literally, like I said, I just started doing my VA shit last year, right? I had my first appointment with a psychiatrist before the year ended, and then I have another one coming up in March.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know, man. I called them. Well, the problem was that I had to get back into the system because I hadn't fucking gone to see them in 3 years or 2 years or something like that. So they didn't drop me from the rolls, but I had to go get a checkup done for my PCM or
Yeah.
PCP or whatever the fuck they're called. The main
Uh,
doctor had to see
yeah.
me and refer me to them. Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, but this is why motherfuckers end up blowing their heads off because you're making them go through all these goddamn hoops. And then so I went to see one. I mean, I literally walked into their fucking place and I was like, I need to make a fucking appointment, y'all, because I kept calling the call center and they kept we'll document it. We'll document it. We'll document it. Okay, bitch, document it. But I need to see somebody. You know what I mean? My fucking brain, I'm tired of having 3 conversations in my head. And I wish I could tell people, like, I wish I could express it, but that's how it goes in my head. One side is having one conversation, the other side is answering it. And then there's one in the middle trying to make it all fucking work out or trying to settle shit down. And it's just fucking frustrating because then that keeps me up all fucking night, which in turn, it it starts fucking affecting how I deal with my family and my life at home. On top of that, you got to add a 11-year-old child that's in the 6th grade who just started junior high, dealing with her shit. Then I got a 9-year-old who emulates that 11-year-old child. And, and it's just, I'm trying not to cuss at them. I'm trying not to be an asshole to them. I'm trying not to scream anymore. I stopped spanking because that doesn't do shit. And then I got a 7-year-old who is delayed, for lack of a better term. I guess it's called a sensory kid. I don't know what the fuck that means. But to me, he's not where he needs to be. It's not that he's dumb. It's just he can't articulate shit. And it's anyways. So there's that on top of that. Then on top of that, I'm dealing with my old lady who's dealing with work, and she works full time. I work full time. So none of us are there for the kids full time. You see what I'm saying? So all that starts eating away. And then at work, I'm happy with my job. I love my job, but it starts eating away as well because, like, I start thinking to myself, is this what I really want to be doing? Or can I be with my kids who are suffering because I'm not being a full-time dad? I'm a full-time worker, but a part-time dad. And that when I've never thought about it like that till right now, but that's exactly what I feel like, bro. I spend more of my awake time with my fucking coworkers than I do with my own kids and family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that it's beginning to take its toll, and I'm just tired of being tired. So I try to find ways this right here is one of the ways that I do the venting. And I almost wasn't going to podcast this because, it was a conversation that you and I were having offline. You know what I mean? And, but again, like I had mentioned to you, that was the whole purpose of this podcast was, where we're free to express ourselves. And not only that, but it might help somebody else out. You're not alone. And I got to start taking my own advice. But, with that, before I pass on the mic to you, my alcoholism, which I wasn't an alcoholic. I refuse to call myself that. But a lot of it, I think, stemmed from wanting to fucking smash those feelings and forget about the fucking issues that I had going on in real life. And just then, for that moment of being drunk, I wasn't here. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yes, dude. And people like wonder, like, and they trip out when I tell them I'd rather be back in fucking Iraq. I'd rather be back in fucking Afghanistan. Why? It was easy over there. All I had to do was make sure my Joes were alive. I knew what was expected of me. We had sit reps. We had fucking idea what was going off. IDF, sure, we get IDF. Okay, you get contact, got it. But at the end of the day, that's all I had to worry about. So it was just easier, I guess. I got used to that life of structure. Being in the military was easier because I just had to wake up, go run, and then fucking go to the motor pool. And civilian life is kicking my ass. And it's not that I don't like the challenge. I love a challenge, but I think now the challenge is wanting to be that father, wanting to be that family man, but at the same time feel productive as a man, where I'm still bringing home the bacon. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
So
easy, man. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Excuse me.
you good, baby? You good?
So this is the thing, right? I think far too often as parents, especially when we have young kids, rightfully so, we're like, I got to spend time with them. I got to provide. I got to do this, that, and the third. But even though we might want to spend as much time as possible with our kids and vice versa, at the end of the day, they're going to grow up and be like, you know what? I understood. Like, I have this now in life because you had to take care of this.
Right.
So that's why I'm here now in life. We started here, but now I'm here because of everything that you did. Yeah, it sucks that you weren't able to spend this time with us, but you put in the time to provide, make sure that my future was squared away. And that's what's more important. And like I said, man, and I'm not coming down on you. I'm not harping on you because I had to step back and kind of tell myself this too. Like, no matter how much we want to spend time with them, we owe them. We have to make sure that we're setting them up for success.
Right.
And it sucks, man. It really does. Because like I said, sometimes they don't understand that at young ages, but
right.
when they're older and they're successful, and they'd be like, okay, Dad, I understand why you put in this much work.
Well,
I know that
you got a point there, but I mean, it's also like, I don't know, man. I got in my feels like really bad, especially I started thinking about Sergeant Lopez that died out there January 6th, and then Doc Walker. And I was thinking about how quickly life can be snuffed out. You know, that was the first time that we took any contact, like, and the first time I saw anybody die in war. You know what I mean? It wasn't the first time I saw somebody die, but it was the first time I saw somebody die in a war. And it was two very brutal deaths. And and then I started thinking, like, these guys were this was their last mission. They were going home in 3 days, and fucking just like that, all the plans they had was just snuffed out. And so then I'm wondering to myself, like, why did that EFP go off on the third vehicle and not on my vehicle, which was the second vehicle? Why? Like, all these things start, fucking with your head, like, and I try to say, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And that's what the outlook I ended up getting on life. Like, when it's your time to go, Chief, no matter what, it's your fucking time to go. And that's the only way I could rationalize some shit. But it makes me wonder, like, have I done enough to have deserved this? You see what I'm saying? Like, it starts fucking with your psyche, at least for me. I kind of it goes back to that cliche shit out of Saving Private Ryan, like, earn this. Earn this, when Tom Hanks was dying and he was telling fucking Private Ryan, like, make sure my death is worth your fucking life that you're gonna live. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And that's why all this shit, like, all these thoughts run through my fucking head constantly. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm just thinking about it right now. This is a constant shit that's in my fucking head. But sometimes I'm able to move it aside and think. That's why I try to keep myself busy. That's why I try to keep myself working, because that way, I always say the idle mind is the devil's playground, right? Mm-hmm. You start thinking all kinds of stupid shit, which leads to other dumb shit. So, but anyways, yeah, that's where I was at earlier, y'all. So, yeah, that's where we were at.
So, man, there's nothing wrong with it, man. It's nothing wrong with it. You got, man. It was at one point, it was shell shock. Like, being in a situation like that, it's going to alter your brain chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way you talk about, like, January 5th, 6th, that week, man, I get like that at the end of March, like around the 23rd or so of March.
Yeah.
That's around the time we started. That's the time we left from Kuwait to Iraq, man, in 2003. So I get like that, man. And I really start thinking about, like, okay, in 2003, we were really tearing up the floors of the tents and stuffing them in the doors,
right? Putting
sandbags on the floor of the fucking Humvees, and think about the speech the captain gave. And, I think about, like, it wasn't in March time frame, but that's when I really started thinking about shit. Like, Think about the little girl that I seen in this fucking mass graveyard, man.
bro.
Like out of everybody in the fucking graveyard. And there was multiple. There was like 3 of these motherfuckers.
Wow.
3 different fucking mass graveyards. The Sergeant Manley section. I got tasked out the Sergeant Manley section.
Yeah.
And we had to guard this shit. The fucking General Petraeus came and took a picture and fucking hopped on his Black Hawk and flew off.
Don't you hate that shit, motherfucking photo ops?
Bro, we were there for like 4 or 5 days, man.
Man.
In the middle of nowhere. Just one fucking section.
Bro, we got called up. We got called up to go check out this fucking island. All right, in the middle of the Tigris River. And this was just about maybe like 2 hours south of Mosul. I can't remember the name of this place, but we were told that there might be that, you know, we're going to expect contact, that there's weapons caches on this island, and we're going to go there and we're going to go fucking assault this island. So we were pumped the fuck up, bro. Like, yeah, this is some motherfucking war shit now. We left at around 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, loaded up the MRAPs, man. We jumped on, took off, drove south for a couple of hours, and fucking when we get there, you know, the IA is there and they got these little fucking boats ready to fucking mount up and go charge over to this island, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pucker effect was there, like, oh fuck, this is some real shit, man.
It's happening.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking like, damn, we about to, because once you're on that little island, there's no way off, Chief. You fighting to the death. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let's get it. So we went up and we climbed up to this fucking cliff side, and that's when the real mission started coming down. We weren't to assault the island. The IA was, you know, it was a photo op because there was nothing on that island. They had pumped it up to be like there was something going to be there, so that, you know, it could sound good, like for the news and shit like that, I guess, for the propaganda. So we had our airspace, and there was a Kiowa type helicopter that came by and scanned it like 3 or 4 fucking times. Nothing on there. Nothing. We threw out our fucking stupid ass, that little stupid shit that you throw out, and that drone, forget what it's called, man.
The Raven.
That was that dumb shit. And fucking Ellis was on there, you know, he was our FDC guy, so of course FDC is gonna be put on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's controlling that shit and he's flying it around. And yeah, I think it was just and then we got when we found out what was going on, you know, that there was nothing going on, that nothing was going to happen. We started playing with the Raven. And so the Raven became like a football. And, you know, they were like, hey, it's our Lopez, go get the Raven. Like, I got that shit, man. Drop that bitch down. So Flo started fucking with it. This fool Sergeant Flores, he starts fucking with it. And like, we got to bring it down slowly, right? Like, all right, man. So I start running like it's a football, about to catch it. And the motherfucker drops it, right? And I put my hand up to reach, like I'm gonna grab the motherfucker. As I do so, I'm looking like I'm about to do like a fucking, you know, a football catch, like ESPN highlight.
Yeah.
And as I do that, make that diving catch, these motherfuckers throttle up on that motherfucking Raven. Vroom, takes back off. I'm stuck like this. And I don't know if you know much about movement and sudden stops, inertia, you know, Newton's laws. You know, object in motion will stay in motion. So yeah, I stayed in motion until I fell on my motherfucking face.
Got him.
So yeah, they got me with that shit. But no, here's the kicker. I'm telling you all this to set up that we found out that the airspace wasn't just reserved for us. It wasn't, you know, it was because a certain general by the name Vandal was coming, and he landed and he took pictures with us. I think he may have given a coin to somebody, and then he jumped back on his Black Hawk and took off. Yeah, the PAOs were there, and you know, the IA, if I remember correctly, happened to start crossing the river onto that island as the PAO showed up, so they could get pictures of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know. Meanwhile, we're over here like, y'all woke us up at 3:00 in the motherfucking morning
For this
come all
shit.
the way down here on the false pretense of we gonna get some action. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that at least we're safe, but dude, it was propaganda, bro. The
Yeah,
best,
man.
you know what the best part of that whole day was though? My gunner fucking Henderson. I was a dismount NCO. And as we're fucking coming out of this, because you had to go through this little fucking village in order to get to that cliff area where the shore was. The best part of it all, Henderson had eaten an MRE. And Henderson was fucking hungry. I mean, not hungry, but he had the bubble guts. So he's part of my dismount. Bro, so we're fucking, I bullshit you not. We're going through this goddamn through these goddamn towns, right? And he's like, Chief, I gotta take a shit. Chief, I gotta take a shit. Like, Hendo, ain't nowhere you can go, bro. You know, less than fucking, unless you're gonna take a shit right here on the fucking street, there ain't nowhere you can go take a shit. He's like, Chief, I can't hold it in no more. So we're making a turn in one of the little streets. MRAPs are fucking huge, y'all. These streets were not made for MRAPs. Hendo, luckily, we're doing a turn somewhere where one of the MRAPs had stopped. Hendo literally undoes his motherfucking IBA or IOTV, whatever the fuck it was called. Pops a fucking squat against the goddamn tire of the MRAP, pulls his goddamn drawers down.
Sorry, shit.
The nastiest, watery, milky shit coming out of his ass. All right. on the fucking tire of the MRAP, bro. All these fucking little Haji kids are like, did this motherfucker just take a shit on our streets? Which, I mean, let's be real. I mean,
the streets are full of shit anyway.
I was just about to say that. I mean, because their sewers literally run over the street. Like, yeah, motherfucker. But I guess they weren't used to seeing a motherfucker with an M4 full battle rattle pop a fucking squat next to MRAP and take a shit, bro. That was our saving grace that day, that we got to see motherfucking Henderson do that. Other than that, it was a waste of fucking time, space, money.
Yeah, a lot of that shit was. Let's not bullshit, man. A lot of times there was a lot of dog and pony shows shit going on while we were there, man.
Dog and
it was, man. It was fucking crazy.
For those of y'all who don't know what a dog and pony show is, it's basically we're gonna shine all the boots. We're gonna fucking look our best, and for an opportunity where somebody comes for half an hour at the most to see it and then goes away.
Man, we did one. This was once again in 03, man. We had to do a dog and pony show. We were in the middle of nowhere again, and it was the Battery this time.
Oh, word. Bro, I lost you. You got me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? God damn it. Stand by.
No, I got you now, man.
Oh, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, no, it's my internet. Apparently it's fucking up. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
I got Urena internet or some shit. Yeah, man, we were in the middle of nowhere, and it was literally a walking shoot. It was a walking shoot, man. We had to put a triple stand concertina wire.
Mm-hmm.
We had to dig our fighting positions. We were still on guard at night, and we were there for maybe 5 days, maybe 5. Like, I don't know, man. I didn't have no watch. Them days just started blending in because I was constantly on guard. 2-1-2. This shit was fucking. All the days blended the fuck in, but we did that shit. We had the engineers actually come dig us the fuck in.
Yeah.
Like, it was that much of a fucking walking shoot. Yeah, man.
Oh shit, we got somebody at the door. I hear you knocking, baby. I'm letting you in.
Oh,
hey,
fuck no! What was that picture? That was
You like that?
That was like some Step Brothers type shit. Like, what the fuck is this, man? No.
I've got more where that came from.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh yes, that's the picture. This is 1998.
You've never gone to Sears, just
That's what, back in the day.
take some portraits. Sometimes you've got to do some self-appreciation.
So, Urena, just to give you a quick synopsis of what's been going on.
Yeah.
We canceled out the original one we started with because I was starting getting in my feels and shit like that. And I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. Hold on. Listen to me. I wasn't feeling it. So I figured that we're just gonna cancel it. But then I started talking with Hunt, and he's like, and I started um opening
Shit.
myself up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I decided that, you know what, as we had talked before, this is what this podcast was for.
Yeah.
So I told him about me being in my feels, how I was depressed for the past 3 years, how I got down back January 5th, 6th, and 7th. I was pretty fucking out of it.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not gonna recap on all that. Just we discussed it, we talked about it, and then we, for somehow or another, we moved into dog and pony shows.
Nice.
So
Okay.
now we're talking dog and ponies. I was given the story about when General Vandal came to take a photo op for us.
Yeah.
Just to, we were under the pretense of we're gonna go, onto an island, and what's the word I'm looking for? Not invade. What's the word I'm looking for?
An island boy.
I was thinking that.
For real, bro. I wanted to be
Occupy?
an island boy. I was gonna be an island boy, but General Vandal said, "No, no, no. It's only for photo op." And you know what he ended up doing? He gave me emotional damage. Oh man, this is what I love about this, y'all. This is how it is on the gun line. Y'all saw earlier I was in the fucking downs, but now we're talking about fucking dog and ponies. Bro, what's the biggest dog and pony show you ever been involved in?
Oh man, you want me to tell you?
Oh, so many, huh?
Here's one. The one I won't ever forget, because in hindsight now, that's the only one that had a payoff. All the other ones, you're like, you spend weeks in the motor pool trying to paint shit, only for somebody to go, "All right, guys, clean it up, and everything's good."
Before you continue, I was explaining what a dog and pony show is, and I said, you pretty much shine your boots, and you look your best, all for maybe a 30-minute fucking person to walk by. Okay, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, and then I'll tell you how this is all weird in the end, right? Because I never understood it. Now I think about the mental aspect now, but it was 2008 and 2009, pouring ass rain in Korea, and we recreated the fucking 2ID patch in Class A's for 2 weeks leading up to this shit. We're doing inspections, layouts. Shit was fucked up. Working till 2300 because the uniforms weren't fucking perfect. So when we show up to this fucking picture, it's raining. So everybody's now wet. 2, if you're in the middle of the fucking formation, you're part of the star in the 2ID patch. So you got to take your top off. Now you're wearing white. So the whole jacket bullshit that we spent fucking 2 weeks chewing people out, counseling people,
Right.
threatening with UCMJ for violating whatever, like people were like, "Fuck this shit. I don't want to be in the fucking army anymore." Fucking pat. People just going ham. All that so they can tell you, "Hey, it's gonna be raining. Your shit's gonna be wet, fucked up, covered in mud. If you're in the star, you got to wear take your jacket off. If you're on the outer edge, nobody gives a fuck." Like if you really look at that picture, the 2ID 2008 one, because they redid it 2 years later because somebody was like, "I want to do it too." But if you look closely, you can see all the birds flipping up in the sky. I was one of them. I'm on the right edge of the fucking picture. I'm flipping the motherfucker off. I was so pissed because and then the general gets up on this fucking cherry picker thing up platform, and he's like, "Can I get a flight tonight?" And I was like, "Fuck you."
Was it General Ramirez?
No, man.
Because I know General Ramirez was there in 08, 07, 08 when we were there.
It was after that. It was this other dude, and it was stupid. And then, so here's the psychological part that I'm starting to question now that confuses me. So say you're fucked up for this picture, right? And this dude's like, I don't know, approve of your uniform or whatever. Is he gonna punch you? Why? I never understood the fear behind rank. There's a sergeant major shows up. Is he gonna punch you? Is he gonna kick? Is he gonna physically hit you? Why are people so scared of rank? When I don't know, it's weird because I was in that same why was I scared of some E5? Why was I scared of some corporal? Was he gonna punch me? Why are people so timid? Especially at the senior level, you see some senior people, they get scared and timid at the more senior people. They're gonna physically handle them. Are they gonna do what? Cuss? And if you cuss, like, you're not bad. I don't get it. I don't do the whole intimidation thing. I don't understand.
I don't know. I think probably the fear came from even back in the day where the drill sergeants would physically manhandle you if you were out of line. So we drank the Kool-Aid. And nowadays everything's like nobody goes behind the connexes. Nobody gets taken to the wood line. And
but what for? Like why
to
would
put
you have to
hands.
go through that? But why? Like what are you gonna fail at that is so important that you have to like that you're gonna get hit? I just don't get it. Like it's weird now that I think about it. Like imagine being at home in the morning and you kiss your wife goodbye and you're like, man, I hope my boss doesn't hit me today at work. And then you just go.
Because the military is not a fucking corporate office.
It sure does feel like it these days.
Oh, well, that's nowadays. How about you, Hunt? What was your biggest dog and pony moment?
It was definitely, like I said, like that was a big one. The one I was just discussing, being in Iraq in 2003, having engineers come dig us in, and we're setting up a legit fire base just to fucking do that shit. Other dog and pony show, they said I had to guard 3 mass graveyards, just one section. General Petraeus came in a couple of days later, took pictures and flew off. And like this, the fuck was the purpose of this shit? Yeah, man.
How about those change of commands?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Those are all dog and fucking pony, man. Especially when there was it what is that called? What is it? Turn to what is that? What is the command? Left turn march.
Oh, when they wagon wheel that shit.
Yeah, left turn march.
Yeah,
that shit. And then everybody's whispering, touch my shoulder, touch my shoulder. And they're all.
That's during the fucking passing review.
Because the first guy is just supposed to like, and then the second guy is like looking this way and he's like, I'm just gonna take some big ass steps. And then the third guy is like trying to catch up because he's looking left. And then the third, fourth, fifth guy, they're like, whatever, dude. I don't even want to be here.
I'm sorry, but the Marine Corps has us beat whenever it comes to drill and ceremony.
Because they don't do nothing.
Who don't do nothing?
Marines.
The Marines are still a department of.
Look, I'm just saying during DNC, they'll fuck us up. But I think that's only in, during their training. Because I think once they get out, they're done with that bullshit.
Well, I would say this, man, like due to my time again at Fort Sill, having to work on the Bullock side, we actually dealt with like the Marine little privates that were there too, man, because they would be little op forward or like they would come in or whatever.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers are still on it. They will motherfucking steal.
Bro.
Like, goddamn, calm the fuck down.
PFC fucking Marines will out fucking cadence a goddamn barrel chested goddamn staff sergeant.
That right. Like what? Yeah, what the fuck is you saying, guy?
If you think if you compare DNC, right, and think about what we're talking about, we're comparing DNC, right, between the branches, right? If you compare DNC, yeah, give it to them because they spend months and weeks and shit training on that shit. Like that's the emphasis of their training is drill and ceremony.
Because right? What does it instill?
Pride.
And what else?
Discipline.
And what else?
Esprit de corps.
Thank you. All 3 of those right there.
But what are we doing instead of that? You know what we're doing?
Bitching, making sure that they're going to goddamn dental.
Granted, all right. So specifically, yes, right now. But what we're actually doing, what the Army does better, is the Army trains for war. That is our sole purpose.
I'll say it was.
No, that is our and they can't even say that they have like a harder, longer. Well, I don't know about harder, but they can't say they have a stricter environment, which they train. Lengthwise, the Army's got 22 weeks of fucking basic training now. Like it's.
Say what?
Weeks.
It's not 22 weeks.
It sure as fuck is. I'm at the location.
Okay, that's including that's OSUT then.
No.
You said basic alone.
Yes.
God damn, them motherfuckers will be in there for a while. I could understand it like at some degree. Now, this is what I will say. At one point in time, like we used to march every fucking where. We got away from that when motherfuckers be like, oh, just drive to the motor pool. oh, everybody just run across the fucking street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I still believe, even though I'm not in and I don't have a dog in the fight, I think that you should do that. Okay, so hey, we're gonna be here at the battery area. So now, guess what? Now there's not gonna be this. Oh, I need to run to the car to do this. I got this. Hey, I think they should. I think you should march to the fucking motor pool, and then you should march back from the motor pool. You know what? 5-10 minutes prior to lunch.
What do you tell a private that says, "Why are we marching?"
The fuck? Why are we marching? Why are you talking to me? Shut the fuck up. Nah, man.
No, but you're right. And that's what the answer should be. Because you know what? We're in the fucking military. That's why. You do what the fuck I tell you to do. That's it. I don't need you to think. You know what I would tell my fucking privates? And I know that I told Urena this when we were in fucking SLC. And I didn't gain any fucking good boy shoes with points with this. Look, man, if you're E1 to E3, I don't need you to think. I need you from the neck down. That's it. That's it. Neck down. You do what the fuck I tell you to do. You don't think unless I tell you to fucking think. Now, if I give you something to get done, if I give you a task, I'm going to give you conditions. I'm going to give you the standards. Now, if you happen to fucking find a better way to do it, do it. I don't give a fuck as long as it gets executed and completed. And then that shows me, okay, you got a little bit of a brain up there. Good. But for the majority of the fucking PFCs and down, E1 through E3, neck down, neck fucking down. All right. I don't give a fuck. That's all I need you for, especially as a Canon crew member. It doesn't take a lot for you to fucking do this. 7 and 8 to the rear, 5 and I don't need that. It doesn't take a lot. Too much thinking to do. All right. I'm sorry. That's just neck down. You do what the fuck I tell you to do. Why? Because I fucking said so, bitch. You want somewhere where you have to say, get the rank, get the knowledge. Then cool, we could talk. You go up in rank. But this ain't Burger King, motherfucker. This ain't your way right away. This is the fucking army. Why do we get shit on? Because look at the undisciplined fuck. Oh, why do you got to treat me like a baby? Why? Why can't you fucking do a simple task of ironing your fucking BDUs?
Yeah.
Why? Oh, because why do I have to iron it? Because I fucking said so. Why? Because when you look like a soldier, you feel like a soldier. You act like a soldier. Be a fucking soldier. You know what I'm saying? But you want to be some ragtag bag piece of shit? Then you know what? You should have joined the fucking Peace Corps. You know what I'm saying? You should have joined. Oh, are we going to go to war? Are we going to go to war? Bitch, did you join after 9/11? How can you ask that? Am I going to go to war? Oh, but why are you focusing on the small things? Because you know what? If that bubble's not fucking set, guess what? That round is not going to land where it needs to be at. So I focus on the minute things. All right? Your collimator, when you're fucking focusing on it, when you look at your sight, you know what? You might, if you're going to fucking not do something so small, how do I, and then you're going to lie about it. How do I know you're not going to fucking go off the deep end and bullshit me when you fuck up hard on something big? Fuck you. Do what the fuck I tell you to do. Make it happen, Captain.
This guy's having some flashbacks, man. Like, you're talking from like an experience here. Like,
my bad.
What E3 hurt you? Who was this E3 that hurt you? No, man.
My bad, man. My bad. I went on a tangent there. Sorry.
First off, okay, boomer.
Toxic leadership.
Yeah.
It's 2022, man.
Oh God.
Nobody. You ask for permission before you talk to that private.
Right? Oh, do I get up? I gotta get a parade rest before I talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, can you imagine that? What if a fucking soldier comes and tells you, I'm not gonna get a parade rest for you? Why?
Guess what? Right. Guess what? That's what's happening right now.
Shut the fuck up.
That's what it's, dude. This is a corporation. Like nobody cares anymore. Like,
but don't you think that's part of the problem that no one cares?
Yeah, because it's not that nobody cares. It's the top. Let's see. So the very top said we want to change this shit so more people join. We want to be so civilianized, and these are people that when they were coming up, the military was transitioning to be more attractive to people and compete with civilian enterprises like the 90s, early 2000s generation and stuff as they've come up. You know, they know that army of one, late be all you can be. That army was trying to like compete for your attention against companies that pay more and stuff. Now they made rank. Now they social media's around. Now they think they're CEOs and like entrepreneurs and businessmen, and they're gonna fall in on a Fortune 500 company somewhere. Like that's all they care about. Those below that get those emails and stuff about hey teammates and all that lingo shit, like they just want to get out on a positive note, you know, and they'll stay behind their computer, don't know what the fuck's going on behind the scenes, and if they do, they don't give a fuck because they just want to get the fuck out and stuff,
Which
and then
leads me to the
everything just
point.
trickles down. What's up?
Which brings me back to the point that we were discussing before. You know, all right. So when we ended the first podcast, just so y'all know, what we were discussing is America or is the U.S. gonna go to war with the Ukraine? And I was
It's
doing
just
the top
Ukraine.
5. What'd you say?
It's just Ukraine. There's no the.
Okay, look at that. Give the boy. You know what? I felt to mention
The
this
Ukrainians.
again. That I'm pretty proud of this guy here. You know, because he came from IB out in SoCal, and now he's here as a good man. I'm very proud of you. He got educated, you know, so
Had to take
now
a
he
couple
thinks he's
falls
better
along
than
the way.
everybody.
Yeah.
So but the question I had posed was I had asked, you know, well, are you gonna be in Russia? Something along those lines. But instead of going 5-1 this time, I'm gonna go 1 through 5. All right.
Oh, we're starting over. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're starting over again.
All right,
So it gave y'all time to think about your answers. So there's 5 answers that I was given about this person. When I said, do you think we're going to go to Iraq? Or not Iraq, I'm sorry. Do you think we're going to go to Ukraine? Not the Ukraine. Fuck yeah. Fuck you, dick. But and he says, haha, that will never happen. You want to know what number 1 is? What do you think number 1 is, Hunt?
Joe Biden.
What about him?
Joe Biden is in he's a puppet for Russia or Ukraine.
Oh, it was close. It was close.
For
Joe
China.
Biden is a
prop president.
Starts
Oh.
with a P.
He's pussy popping on a handstand.
He's a pussy. Number 1 is Biden is a pussy.
And I know who sent this to you now.
Pussy, pussy, pussy.
I know. It's who I think, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Go on, read some more.
All right,
see
so
what's up.
number 1, Biden is a pussy. Number 2, the army leadership are a bunch of pussies trying to collect checks. Number 3, nobody knows how to war, and they're afraid of being exposed if one kicks off. Number 4, Russia is going to walk in, take what they want, and we are just going to sanction them like in 2014. And finally, number 5, because I had to put a pump on this, Germany depends on Russia for oil. So now we can't do shit because they'll get destabilized in Germany. Pussies. So that was the top 5 reasons of why it will never happen.
Pretty legit.
And I don't know about 5, but I do know 1 through 4. And the person that did this 5 stepping stones of why we're not going to be in war is he thinks he's an educated person because, you know, he has an associate's degree all of a sudden. And he made the dean's list every fucking time. But what do y'all think about that? What are y'all thoughts?
Biden's not a pussy, man. I mean, I don't think a vagina would call somebody a son of a bitch. And I got it. He probably didn't know his mic was on. Like, it was funny as shit. Like, oh, that son of a bitch.
He's hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, his cognitive skills are definitely hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, you just say some off the wall shit because you're like nobody can tell you anything. I'm gonna die tomorrow, so they fucking like you suck.
Yeah, so I was up in Muskogee one time, and then this random dog kept walking by, and then my granddad used to tell me back in the day,
bro,
stuff.
You know that he can't be a pussy because he stood up to popcorn. You know what I'm saying? He started the corn pop. He stood the corn pop while he was at the fucking out at the swimming pool that one day.
He was there when popcorn was invented. Like, goddamn.
He was there. He's the one that said, "I remember."
You know, back in the day, my grandpa would put me on his lap and say, "Joey," you know.
Joey, do you believe in? Anyway, so
Joey, you gotta work hard.
Biden is a pussy. He's not a wartime president, and he's not mentally, cognitively there.
He's not, man. He's really not, man.
I think when it
what do you
comes
think
to-
was in the mind of the writer, Urena, when he said Biden was a pussy?
No, so when if you think about it, I think the guy will fight the right country if he knows he's gonna win. Right. So if you say like Costa Rica start some shit, right? He'll send troops there, no problem, no questions asked. What do we owe them? Like we don't owe them anything.
First of all, Costa Rica, of all places, you're gonna pick
I'm just
Costa
picking a
Rica?
random country, man. It's
A
small.
country that has no fucking army.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. So let's say they start some shit. It's like, oh, we're gonna send a bunch of troops down there. That's an easy win. That's like political victory campaign right there. In and out, 2 weeks. The small insurgency. We're out before you even realize what happened. Right? We won. Victory. MVPs.
I think that's what fucking. I think that's what Kennedy thought about Bay of Pigs.
That's what fucking Bush thought about Iraq too, man.
Which one? That shit. We landed on that motherfucker. Boom, 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 boom.
You see me on that shit?
He's on the aircraft carrier. Mission accomplished.
Oh, man.
We won this shit.
All right, so let's skip over Biden's non-cognitive ass. Let's go to the officer or the military one. It's the one that I think really stuck out the most to me. Which was, I think, number 2, was it? Number 2, the army leadership are a bunch of pussies trying to collect checks. What do you think the thoughts were behind the writer's point of view, Hunt? What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, man, like no one really cares anymore. It was like Urena was saying, man, like the leaders now, they grew up when like people were transitioning from being tough on people to where you had to be when you first started catering, even though, you know, we don't cater to them, they cater us, but they made like, hey, little safe spaces. Hey, you can't make them do more than 10 push-ups. That's wrong. How dare you? So I think the leaders now, they came up in that area where they got away with just doing 10 push-ups instead of getting the shit smoked out of them. You know what I'm saying? And having any kind of discipline instilled in them. Man, I do see a lot of people, like you said, before I got out, they really just cared about a check, man. They cared about a check and that NCOER. And so I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier, why people are scared of those people with rank, man, because they're scared of that NCOER being fucked up. I don't think they're so much scared of the person, but they're scared of that NCOER being fucked up.
Which they're not even going to write themselves, you know, like you write your own shit. Even today with the way like people still come up to you to this day. Like, hey man, what'd you do this year? Because I gotta do your shit by tomorrow, and then you gotta like feed them bullets and all that shit.
Man, I saved a baby whale. That's what the fuck I did. Put that shit down there, baby. Still team 8.
Still team 8. Wow. So I want to share something with y'all.
While you're waiting, I just got busted out too. I just got put out on the Book of Faces.
Oh, word.
Yeah, one of my friends was like, "Why is L Hunt arguing with a woman on TikTok?"
All right, do y'all see that right here? Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. So it should be, what you should be seeing is my Facebook post that I put. Them war with Russia is gonna be fire. Woo! Me, an artilleryman, knowing Russia has us outranged with better counter radar, better mobility, and better duck hunters or air defense artillery. Now, full disclosure, I didn't write this. I simply took it away from someone else. It looks like the person that wrote this was Jumpmaster_candidate, whatever. Just giving credit where credit is due. But when I saw this, you know, it made me think, and I put this is going to be on the Facebook for the On the Gunline podcast. I put I hope some of these soldiers and NCOs stop trying to go viral on TikTok and get busy with those crew drills and battle drills. What do y'all think? And
Well, what Hodgson was saying is true, man. Yes, their shit does outrange us, but they really they don't know what the fuck they're doing, man.
Yeah,
so
it's trash.
let me go ahead and just say what Hodgson said. For those of y'all that aren't viewing on the YouTube, this is what he said. Read into their artillery program and what they can do. And I'm saying not to be scared and conspiracy theory paranoid, but definitely to realize that it's time to get that ass back in the field and knocking out survivability moves, hasty emplacements, troubleshooting, maintenance, RSOP, T-Labs PAP, crew drills. And I'm sure right now, if you're not artillery, you have no idea what the fuck T-Labs PAP is. And if you are artillery and you're mechanized, you probably have no idea what T-Labs PAP is. But anyways, they can range or range 10 rounds on target within a meter from ranges of up to 70K. Proven. Though all or AI from drones even through AI from drones, even so underestimating is only gonna get you so far when your enemy is walking and running. We have badassery in the works, except for the big stage for 23 and 20 through 25, with hopes to reach 100K, 100 kilometers. But that's down the road. Time to get cracking, red legs. Fun. Turn off the TikTok and start grinding. What y'all think? Go ahead, huh? Go ahead, Urena.
All right. First off, okay. I get where he's coming from. So everything he's saying, that's it's valid. All right. Now, me seeing artillery, dude, we overcomplicate this MOS so much, like in the most stupid of ways. Like, oh, you didn't hang your fucking M4s, you didn't do position improvement and stuff, so we're gonna gig you. We overcomplicate the MOS to make it seem harder than it really is. But what is it really, man? You just fucking put a round in there, you fucking put the charge in there,
downrange.
and then you look through the fucking sights, make sure you're fucking sighted in properly, and then that's it, dude. But all this extra shit that we add in there to make it harder and stuff, and then we use that as kind of like this gauge, like, oh, this crew is good because they dress their fucking canisters and stuff. But can they fucking shoot accurately? Yes, we can. I think as a professional army, we're far superior than the fucking Russians, because the Russians are using D-30s, they're using 2 Alpha 65s, 2 Alpha 36s, fucking 2 S-19 self-propelled fucking howitzers, fucking TOS 1 Alpha fucking T-72 fucking tanked fucking MLRS fucking rockets and stuff. MLRS, they can kick our ass? I don't think so, because they've got antiquated shit. We just use a fucking our MLRS is fucking, we're just superior in every single way. We give these dudes so much fucking credit. They're drafted conscript soldiers with a fucking shit ass fucking education, right? The technology they use has to be dumb enough for them to fucking use. We are a volunteer force that willingly likes to get fucking hurt ourselves for this army so we can do a fucking job perfectly. That's what we do.
Go ahead, Hunt.
Well, yeah. So it's funny you say that, because I was talking with a friend of mine. He pretty much said the same thing, like how it's overcomplicated. For instance, the only thing that you really need is 5 and 6. There's no reason for any other tables. The rest of that shit, dog and pony, for that shit's for the commanders. All you really need is 5 and 6. That's all any section needs to certify. But that whole fucking, if you can do it as a section, you can do it in a platoon, you can do it in a battery, you can do it in a battalion. The rest of that shit is just for them colonels and everybody else to pad their fucking OICs OERs or whatever the fuck.
And look at the way the artillery has been used, because so what people like to point to is the Russia when they attack like Ukraine and Russia attacked Georgia, how they use their artillery and they just and then everybody points to this MLRS video of like, oh man, these, because these dudes were using their fucking Snapchat and their geolocate. We're talking about Russia, who is like is in the middle, but they're still higher than all these peasant ass countries that are in a worse shape than fucking Russia. So we're watching a teenager beat the shit out of a fucking kindergartner, right? and we're like, oh my god, these dudes are tough. When America's got a master's degree in this fucking artillery shit, watching a teenager beat up on a kid, and we're like, man, I think we should be scared. Nah, dude. These dudes are peasants. These dudes are fucking trash at what they fucking do. And what they don't show you behind the scenes is fucking 9 out of fucking 10 Russian howitzers deadline because they don't have the resources and the fucking supply chain to fucking maintain their fucking vehicles. If their shit goes down, they just order a new fucking howitzer to bring it in. Who knows how long that fucking takes? But you don't see that. I've seen it. Like there's so much shit that goes wrong. The invasion of Georgia from Russia, they had like cores and cores of fucking troops coming down this road. 80% of their fucking shit was deadline on the side of the road. Whatever still made it into Georgia to invade was still a pretty large fucking army, but smart enough and wealthy enough to kick the fucking Georgians' ass, which is like a really small country, man. So we literally saw like 10 teenagers get sick on the way to beat up the kids and stuff, and 2 teenagers still made it, and those 2 teenagers still beat the shit out of the kids. Like that's what this is. Like,
they beat up Timmy.
So
yeah, like
I just want to counter one thing.
yeah.
And I hear what you're saying. I hear it. I hear it clear. About the whole conscript and the whole fucking forced military service and stuff like that. While meanwhile we're an all voluntary force, which I think is fine that we have an all voluntary force, but I think that we should. I think that we need to do something about the standards as far as I'm tired of seeing pussies in the fucking army, bro. I'm tired of it. Look, I don't give a fuck. I get it. I'm out. I fucking get it. You know, I get it. I'm the toxic leader. I get it. But there's just as we have those loudmouth motherfuckers that be like, yeah, I wish I could get into that shit. We're the biggest pussies when the fucking shit hit the fan, you know. But I want the motherfuckers that are gonna be there when it's time to fight. They're gonna fight. You know, I don't know, man. Like I look forward to. Like I got to the point where I'm gonna show y'all something. I only got 6 minutes left. I'm gonna share my screen one more time. I'm gonna show y'all something, man. Like this shit right here
is my swag. Oh,
do y'all see that right here? Like riding in the fucking mine roller, you know. I was like, okay, let's see what this shit can do. In the back of my head, I was like, I hope we hit a motherfucking IED. I want to see what shit's gonna do. You know, we took it out for a fun run. Well, it was fun riding with the bitch, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I thought this shit was cool. You know, I don't know how to explain this, but there's folks out there that are probably like, nah, I ain't getting in that shit. I ain't doing that. I ain't gonna be out there as bait. And I don't know where I'm going at with this, man.
Let me tell you.
I just don't want pussies. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the artillery stuff, man, because there's some bias to this, all right? And it's gonna hurt some fucking feelings.
Bring it.
I really don't care anymore, man. Check this out, right? The last 20 years, right? Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff. Did artillery really exist? It was there.
In Afghanistan, it did.
Yeah, but was it really now? And then in Afghanistan, is the artillery having to compete with the Air Force for like missions?
I mean, if CAS wasn't available, or like, you know, there's times where they say, you know, the skies are not there for them.
Yeah. So there's like preferences. There's preferences that exist, right? I think what's happened, right, is when these things came off, and then people realize we don't really need artillery, and this is gonna hurt some fucking feelings, man. People realize we don't really need to use artillery that much. Let's convert these dudes to maneuver and stuff and have them fucking do all this other shit, right? There was a thought process, a crisis that happened up top that's like, fuck, we need to be relevant or they're gonna downsize our branch. Like if we don't make it seem like we're important, like we matter right now and in the future, they're gonna be like, why do we have this branch that's obsolete when we have MLRS?
Are you saying that artillery should just be taken away?
Look at the Marines. Look at the Marines.
Man, fuck the Department of the Navy pussies. Go
ahead.
They
use artillery, look at that. Look at what they did though. What did they do to their 777 battalions?
I don't know what. I know they got
They
getting
convert-
rid of their tanks
They no, and 777s. They converted to MLRS.
because they're not there to
They're
occupy.
expeditionary.
That's right. And then say this without the attachment that you have as an artilleryman, right? Because we're taught be protective of your branch. Be protect like we got to be in there. We got to like find a way into the meeting so we could be part of the the dinner table conversation, right? Yeah, I know it, and it fucking hurts, man. I'm telling you. Right now, we're saying artillery is important. These dudes use artillery. We need to invest some money in us so we could do some training, and we need to stand up fucking Devardis. We need to do all this because we are so important that you can't get rid of us. But like if a war kicks off with Russia, are they going to be in big open fields? No, they're going to be in urban environments, cities. Are we going to use artillery in cities?
Yes, we will.
Excalibur, hell yeah, right or wrong, it's gone. Excalibur.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't.
There was artillery used in Fallujah.
What are we talking about? Mud huts? Like no, nobody gives a fuck about those countries. We're talking about a top tier country like Russia or China, first world, fucking
Peer to peer.
near peer, right?
Look,
we're not gonna kill those civilians. We'll kill fucking civilians from a third world fucking all day, all night, dude. We don't give a fuck. But when
artillery will not go anywhere. We are the king of fucking battle.
Exactly. That because we have a loyalty to the branch. We have to keep it relevant. We have to say that it exists for a reason. Just like, but picture how the tankers and the artillerymen and the Marines felt when they were told like, hey, we're cutting you guys out. We don't need you. They probably felt pretty heartbroken because it's like, how dare you? You need us. But they really didn't need them. And
I think that's mainly
it's going to bite them in the ass. Go ahead.
But you got to think about it. The Marines don't even have a big budget as it is anyway, so they got to try to trim the fat. And unfortunately, that's part of their fat. Now, us, we do have a big budget. Well, y'all, there's no us no more with me. Y'all have a big budget, and I don't like. I understand what you're saying because I when I was still in, I was hearing that like how they're trying to downsize us because they want to use air assets. They want to use fucking MLRS. They really didn't see a need for us to shoot, move, and communicate when they could fucking use air or that shit.
Okay, but how much more does it cost to lob a fucking 105 or a 155 than to fucking shoot a goddamn MLRS or than shoot a fucking Tomahawk? How much more? If we're talking about budgeting,
and then add the maintenance, and then add the salaries of the people that operate those howitzers, and then the training costs that are involved with training those people compared to the round that's coming from an MLRS. I'm telling you, man, if they want to fucking downsize, we're just trying to keep ourselves important.
We are.
What I'm saying.
We are.
Exactly. That's what you'll hear.
We are.
But
important.
when it comes
we
to
got 39 seconds.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna shoot out one more link and we'll do another segment if you're good.
Yeah, well, I gotta take a shit, man. I've been holding this in.
Yeah. Go take a shit. Go take a shit. I'll send out the link and we'll talk for a few more. If y'all down.
Yep.
All right, bet. I'll send that out in a second. All right, everybody. We're back for part 2. We're waiting on Hunt, who's taking a shit. But yeah. Back to Irina. I don't know, bro. Maybe it's just all in my mind that maybe I'm romanticizing, the will of what a soldier should look like or be, because every time I think of soldier, the only thing that pops into my head is, seeing those BDUs fucking creased up, looking fucking proper.
Such a boomer.
But I mean, even at least with the Corps, even the Marine Corps, at least they kept their uniform standards up. I think. I don't know.
That's what we like to think. We have such a like. There's a word for this when you think of something, but you only remember the good parts about it, and you assume that that's a blanket look about it. Go back to Vietnam. Were the dudes fighting in the fucking jungles of Vietnam wearing some fucking press and shine shit?
I get that, but when they were in garrison, they were fucking pressed and shined.
But do you think that now put this in perspective, right? Do you think a soldier in garrison in 1986 say 1988, a soldier in garrison. Do you think he would look at a soldier in garrison in 1999 and think, man, that dude looks squared away? No, let's go 84. 84.
Somebody from 84 to what, 99?
Yeah. A soldier is at 84 and comes in 84, is in garrison in 84, when I think that is the last towards the end of the
I get where you're going with like generational shit.
because they had belt, they had brass belt buckles in uniform and stuff, the shiny ones.
Did they? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the but if they were in standard, I mean, even the ACUs, which were garbage, but the multicams now, like the multicams that they have, I think if they were pressed, they would look fucking fire. They would look badass. I love that uniform. I really do, because it's like almost a throwback. I mean, it's funny because it's gonna circle back to BDUs eventually. But to your point, I understand the generational shit. Was somebody from the days in the 40s when they used to wear their it would look like a fucking dress uniform versus fatigues.
Look at fucking General Patton's fucking division, right? They damn near wore a Class A uniform into fucking combat.
Right.
They're wearing a fucking Class A jacket, right? The pinks and greens, basically, into combat. Right. Do you think they would look at soldiers going to war these days and be like, they're wearing a fucking camouflage uniform?
Okay, but pajamas? I'm not talking about being in theater. I'm talking about looking like a fucking soldier.
Yeah, all right. So then you go back to 82. They're wearing the brass buckles. They have to shine them, and then they wear Class Bs. They wear the short sleeve Class Bs, right? Oh, see, but you're saying, oh God, right? That sounds stupid.
No,
right?
I'm saying, oh God, the fucking the work that has to be put into that in your Class Bs or your Class A's.
Right, but at the time, they were probably like, this is just standard data.
Right, it was standard data. I mean, they still had Class Bs when we were in. When we first
but we didn't wear them every day to work.
No, we didn't.
They did.
I mean, did they though, really? Or was it just a garrison? Oh, not the garrison. Was it the soft skill MOSs versus the combat MOSs?
No, if you were in garrison, man, or if you weren't working in the motor pool, you rock that shit. But even then, let's pretend like we're a soft skill MOS, and there, we have to wear this uniform, and then we look 20 years into the future.
I mean,
like, why are they too lazy to wear a fucking Class B uniform? What's wrong with these dudes?
Well, I mean, then
so they think you're soft.
I don't think it all just falls on that. Okay, you want to go into that? Let's go into that. All right, motherfuckers that physically fit in garrison. I mean, physically fit in theater. I wasn't the greatest physically fit looking motherfucker. I wasn't buff or anything like that, but I wish I could have been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus like, some motherfuckers just look soft now. They look, for a lack of a better term, they look fucking faggoty, bro. Like, and damn, there goes my goddamn algorithm on YouTube. But they look soft.
Field artillery guys.
They just look soft, bro. Yeah, they do look like field artillery guys.
See, but that's the thing. Look, when I was a private, I got made fun of. It's like, oh, it's that army of one generation. It's all about them, soft ass motherfuckers.
But you're not soft. That's the difference.
No. But we're looking at it from like our lens. Go back to like basic training, right? When you go to basic training, say you're week 6, and you've already, week 4, right? And you're BRM white phase, right? And then you look across the hall, the star pad or whatever it's called. You look at the other battery next door. They're week 1, and you're like, look at those fucking losers. They're barely in like week 1. But you're in week 6.
Yeah, but there's a difference because you see, actually, I would look at it through the lenses of that was me 6 fucking weeks ago, where I was still a civilian being molded into a fucking soldier. But see, here's the thing, like, I drank the Kool-Aid because I thoroughly believed in it. I still do. To me, being a soldier is not a fucking right. It's a privilege, to serve. To me, yeah, everybody should want to serve. Yeah. Everybody should want to serve. And just because everybody should want to serve doesn't mean everybody's going to. being a soldier was a different caliber of being of a person.
Yeah.
Not just anybody could be a fucking soldier, because if just anybody can be a soldier, it takes away from the prestige of being a soldier.
But what do you want an army to do though? Like, what do you want it to?
I want an army that fucking is ready and disciplined to go to fucking war.
Yeah. So these
at
kids,
all
right?
times.
So these kids, and by the way, who's teaching them all this stuff?
You're right. It's not, and you know what? I saw
Yeah.
that comment. You're right. It's not the private is only going to get away with what the NCO lets them.
Yeah.
100%.
Because initially when these kids sign up, they sign up for those very reasons that you explained. A lot of them do. A lot of them sign up for
Right.
money. A lot of them
Right.
don't.
Everybody
That's
has
never,
different.
That's never changed in the last, however many years we've been using money as an incentive. and
Right.
stuff. Kids are all joining for like patriotism, all that stuff. They're joining for the same shit. Nothing's changed, except the way that the generation that's in charge is telling them, hey, this is how
Right.
you're supposed to
What they can get
behave.
away with.
Yeah.
But
They're the ones that are
because of
fucking it
that-
up.
But yeah, you're right. But because of that, it's letting the soft ones that shouldn't normally make it through, that should usually get weeded out, they're being allowed within the ranks. And yeah, you're right. You're definitely a 100% nail on the head with that it comes from those NCOs that had no reason being NCOs, and the officers that are signing these things or making this fucking regulation, I guess, they're allowing this. Why? Because they want to be more, is it political? Is it political? And I don't mean left and right political. I mean the army or the military itself becoming more social experiment.
It's a lot simpler than that, right?
All right, what is it? Simplify.
If you go back in the 80s, do you think anybody knew what was going on in a military base behind the scenes?
No.
Unless you got maybe a VHS.
Unless you have somebody that was in the military, you didn't know what was going on.
And telling you, and then you got to take their word for it. Maybe they
Right.
have a VHS tape, that they leaked out, whatever, right? That's the only way. But now, you are constantly being watched. Now you're in the public, you can be in the public sphere. What you just did this morning can be in front of the whole world within seconds.
Right.
Right. So I think what happened is, before we were so good at bullshitting and taking care of things behind closed doors, now those doors have turned into glass doors. Everything's see-through these days. You can't get away with shit and stuff. There was only rumors before that you hear this kind of shit would happen, all the backdoor shit, all the punchings and all the crazy
The hazing.
stuff. Yeah, right. The hazing stuff in the early 90s started taking a big lens, started focusing on that because videos started coming out, leaks happened. And then now these things that you only would hear of in passing were in front of you on TV, and people would get relieved, fire, and everything.
Right.
Now it's been watered down so much that you can't even take a piss without somebody tweeting about it and everybody knowing about it within seconds, right? So the best thing to do is just, everything right now is kind of reactive and prevention. You can only prevent so much. You want to prevent being on social media and get out, do your 20 and get out. And if you can't prevent it, then you got to react. If you're good at reacting, you're going to make it.
Well, what do you think of these NCOs and officers that are reaching out? I guess they call it reaching out to the younger, or the younger demographic by social media, like TikToks. Like I was saying earlier with the whole tickety talk, and NCOs and officers and soldiers need to stop trying to go viral with fucking content.
But
and
they're from the same generation. That's the thing that within the military, we like to think that there's a generational gap. There is
between the
one.
private and the fucking NCO.
Yeah, but it's not as big as we like to think. On the civilian side, the generational gap can go from hey, you're 18, you just graduated, you're working at this law firm, and then your boss happens to be 65. That's a 40-year difference, right? That's a big generational gap. Right. In the military, it's really just 20 years. And that's between you and the very top.
Right. But even if you go to the mid-career fucking people, like your staff sergeants,
It's
and
only
you're a
10, they
private,
were only born
right?
like 10 years before you.
Okay, but within those 10 years, can we agree that 10 years in the military culture is different than 10 years in the civilian sector?
Yes, I
You
think
know,
so. But if whatever takes place is behind closed doors, then before we were sheltered, like the military was like a sheltered hermit that lived in behind the gates of the
Mhm.
military base. Nobody saw what you did, so you aged differently. Like things, the lines weren't so blurry. Like
Right.
a staff sergeant could be 22 and he'd look like he's 50. Like
Right.
there was that generational gap. They could have these like personalities and these egos and the way they carried themselves that would be like, man, is this like this dude for real? Does he exist? Like, is he 40? But
Right.
now that you've removed all that and now everybody can see everything that you do, the generational gap is kind of like narrowed down. Now you're realizing like, hey, this dude's only like 4 years older than me. Like, what the fuck? Like what's the difference? Like,
Well,
and people realize that now.
I guess because I mean, I came in late into the army. I was 26, 27 when I joined. And my NCOs were either my age or younger, but I knew that, I put it in perspective like, okay, I might know more about life than they do, like, okay, relationships and shit like that. But when it comes to this army shit, you know, obviously they're gonna know more than I do. And even if I have to listen to them because they're more experienced than I am. So it's sometimes it doesn't just come down to the age in the life. It's the life and the age that you've had, you know. So I don't know, man.
There's
It's
also the there's a lot of hypocrisy within the army because we like to tell people what we don't actually believe, and then now people hold us to what we actually say. So, for
explain.
example, a senior
Yeah,
leader would be like, "Hey, you need to know everything about your soldiers. You need to be in their lives constantly,
right.
right? And if they close off to you, then you got to figure out a way to get inside their world, right?
Hmm.
So, if you want to get inside today's soldiers' world and stuff, you got to know what fucking TikTok is. You got to know what fucking Facebook is. You need to know what all this shit is. Like, and then you get sucked into that. And then that's what you've grown up knowing. These kids end up becoming NCOs. They grow up knowing that social media is part of their life and stuff. Like, it's
Okay.
a, so
How
it's
do we fix that though?
why do you want to fix something that people are telling you to do though? That's what I'm saying. It's a hypocrisy. We tell people, hey, get in their business, get to know them, do what they do, so you better relate to your people. And then so they do it, and then we get mad because they're actually doing it, and what we see is like immature. Now we can't say like, hey, I didn't tell you to actually do it, I was just saying it because it's what I'm told to say. Like it's a hypocrisy. Before we
Right.
used to get away with it because like you could just say shit and then nobody would call you out on it. But now there's video evidence of you saying it, so you need to do it, for instance. And so now like people are, it's just the way it's what we're supposed to do.
I guess, bro. I mean, I don't know. I just wonder if I was still in the military, if I was a section chief and we were having like a circle jerk and shit, just hanging out under the net or just between the trails, and I happened to say something along the lines of like, "Hey man, what's your price? How much money it was gonna take for you to suck a dick?
What
You know, is that gonna still
the hell
fly?
are you guys saying? And the fuck?
Is that still gonna fly, or is that gonna be something that is gonna be frowned upon?
What do you think the right answer is what somebody's gonna ask you.
What do you mean?
Somebody's gonna ask you, right, when you stand before the man and you explain
Ah,
it, hey, this is what we're talking.
see, and that's the thing. Why would I be standing before the man? That
Because
shouldn't be something that puts me before the man.
when
That's
somebody
the
got their
shit.
feelings broke, hurt, and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
But
you know
that
what?
never happened before.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. You just didn't see it because nobody showed you the tape.
Well,
Like it happened. It happens.
well,
It's
it
always happened.
it didn't happen during my tenure, and my whole time was on the gun line.
You have
The
such a
whole time.
rosy. You have a rosy perspective because I I used to feel the same way. It's like people didn't bitch in my days. Like we just
Oh
fucking
no,
did it.
people
No,
bitched. No, we bitched.
people never got in trouble. We used to get kicked. Nah,
No,
we
people
got in
got in
trouble all
trouble.
the time. Yeah, and we
Yeah,
were doing some heavy price shit
yeah.
and stuff.
The difference is that we didn't publicize it, and not only that, I mean, hold on, hold on,
But
hold on,
if you
hold on, hold
could,
on.
would you? Would do you think
No,
your
absolutely
generation
not.
would have? No,
No,
but if the technology that exists today existed then, do you think they would share
I
everything
would
that's
think that
happened?
we had a little more common sense.
You'd
I
think
mean,
so.
you'd probably have those idiots that would fucking do it. And I think I have dinner coming to me right now.
Let me get one right there.
Oh shit, man! How are you gonna feed me in front of everybody?
Hell yeah.
Everybody, that's one person.
Oh, damn, she's saying you a nobody, fool.
He is always welcome to come over for dinner. To make the trip.
Orale. Well, he might be here for his birthday for the irreverent March.
Yep.
So you know what, man? I'm not gonna eat in front of y'all because that'd be disrespectful and rude. I think it's but before we close out, I do want to say that that I don't think I would have recorded it because we had the technology somewhat out there when we were in Korea and we never recorded shit. Well, let me because there was an incident that was recorded of some wrestling that went on, and myself and a fellow officer almost got it hemmed up for that shit. So,
Dude, I'm telling you, man, we had camcorders back then, and things got recorded. Things always got recorded.
they did, but we didn't fucking share it
because there was no platform to share. Like how,
dude. We have
'cause if we-
MySpace.
yeah, but you couldn't. There's no YouTube, right at the beginning. Because I guarantee people would have put a lot of the shit in YouTube.
You're right, but
We
again,
operate with, you operate
again,
with the technology that you get.
But look, out of my 10 years on the gun line, people never got in trouble for saying, how much would you suck a dick for? Not one person got in trouble that I knew.
That happens today because you know why? Because the same as back then and the same as today, you're not going to say it in front of the people that would get you in trouble. Would you make a joke like that in front of your brigade commander?
If I thought he would laugh at it. If I thought he would laugh
see
at
what
it.
I'm saying? Like,
But I would say it in front of my smoke. I'd probably say it. And secondly, I didn't fuck around with officers.
okay, would you say it in front of your
Well, you need to know your
major?
audience, obviously.
Yeah.
But within the sections, not one ever bitch. And dude, we even had a gay guy in our section. I'm sure you knew him. He was in my section. Fucking Jennings. What's his name? Jennings.
Whoa, way to put people out there.
Oh yeah, because there's only one Jennings out there.
Oh no, what I'm saying, right? Like nobody. The same thing that was true then is true now. There's just more technology now, so everybody knows what you're doing.
And people cry too much.
And if the technology existed today, that existed then, that exists today, we're doing the same shit. You're no different. Ain't nothing different.
Do you think that, at least answer this question for me, and you could, I want you to marinate on it, and we'll talk about it next week.
Okay.
Is the generation of soldiers softer now than it was when we were privates?
If they're
Are they softer? No, you can marinate on it, and I'll pose that question to the listeners. Let's leave it for the listeners.
No.
We could all answer together.
Let's flip it back. Let's add to that real quick, because before the food gets cold. Not only that, are the parents today softer than they were back then?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's the real fucking question right there.
And we will talk about that one next week. We will talk about that next week. Did I text you to send me something to talk about? I could have sworn there was something I wanted to talk about. And I was like, remind me of this. And that's why I sent it to you, because I know that I sent you something, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
The Marines.
How
do you feel about that, man? What do you think about, like, you heard about what happened, right? Private, fucking
Same thing that
rolled
happened.
over
Same thing that happened in 2016 at I
Fort
think
Hood.
2016 at Fort Hood with the 316 field artillery.
Was it
field artillery.
316?
I think it was.
Good night. So, what do you feel? What are your thoughts on it?
It's unfortunate, man. You know, God
It
rest
is.
their souls. You know,
Yep.
like it's they arrested the driver for like involuntary manslaughter, I think, if I'm not mistaken, initially.
Mhm.
And it's just, it sucks, man. I don't like to, you know, it's just an unfortunate thing. It happens a lot
It does.
frequently,
And-
and there's no prevention for it. Some things you know, we never, if we could prevent everything by giving a quick safety brief, we'd be some of the safest motherfuckers in the world. But
Safety stand down, right?
yeah, but things happen, right? If
Accidents do happen.
you can preach motorcycle safety all the time, but some drunk driver is probably gonna hit your fucking motorcycle rider.
So I don't know the whole story to it, but it's not like they want to hem up this private or this young Marine for driving recklessly or some shit. I guess he was driving too fast and took the turn too quick. But my question about that is, what about the NCO?
Where's the TC? Right.
Yeah. So if anybody's to be blamed, it will be the TC and the private. But I wasn't there, so I really can't speak to it.
Yeah, but if the private's a good disciplined private, he's going to do what the NCO told him to do. If the NCO told him to drive fast because we're late and we need to catch up. But I'm not even, you know what? I'm not even going to speculate because it's
Right.
still an unfortunate.
It
was a very unfortunate thing. Everybody's traumatized. I'm sure that private didn't wake up that morning saying I'm going to speed and cause the death of people. So he feels like shit. The TC feels like shit. Everybody feels like shit, and it's unfortunate.
And nobody. I mean, we don't know what happened at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Only those that were there know what happened.
Fucking deer could have jumped in front and he swerved.
Exactly. So, anyways, but thank you for bringing that one back up. I just want to know what your thoughts were on that. I just think the TC needs to be held accountable because it sounded like they wanted to fry the young Marine alone. I didn't get to read it all, but there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, I saw some shit on the news about the minority leader, chinless guy, has no chin, old as fuck, looks like Milhouse but without a chin. The fuck is McConnell? Is it McConnell?
Oh, Mitch McConnell.
Is that who that is?
Senator.
No, yeah,
senator guy.
Yeah, where he said something along the lines of, he was asked a question about the voting rights, and they asked him, like, you know, what did he think? And he said something along the lines of African Americans are voting as much as Americans are. So people got up with their panties in a bunch because he made a distinction between African Americans and Americans. I'm not justifying it.
Oh.
I'm not justifying it at all. But here's my thing. When you intentionally separate yourself as an African American, you're the one putting yourself in that box. You're an American. You just happen to be black. You know what I mean? So
I think
I get it if he would have said African Americans versus white Americans. But then again, Americans are fucking Americans. If he would have said, you know, there's that the black Americans are voting the same as white Americans, I get it. And it's just fuck ups when you talk. You know, I'm not fucking condoning what he said, but I'm just saying, y'all the ones calling yourselves African Americans. He could have just easily said black Americans. So, or colored Americans. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's wrong to say that, but people call themselves people of color.
No, like this is a problem, right? Well, is it a problem? We're such a diverse country, right? That we prize ourselves on being this melting pot of ethnicities and stuff. I know I went to a lot of schools where if you're Mexican, hey, you're Mexican American, you know, and people rock the flags and all that shit. If Puerto Ricans, you know, territory, but they rock the fucking Puerto Rican flags and stuff. I don't know. This isn't we're all different.
I get that.
And then some people feel like we need to respect each other's differences and stuff and what we bring to the table.
Mhm.
Some people feel like we need to respect the fact that we can, our different sides can work together
Mhm.
and get a mission accomplished. Those two are very similar, but the way they approach things are different and stuff. Some people feel like we're just one, so we need to ignore all the differences, which is noble in thought and stuff, and it has some like valid points and stuff. But the other groups will see that and be like, no, we're different. Becoming one. And the other one's like, we're one made up of differences. Like
E pluribus unum.
we're just, yeah,
Out of many, one.
yeah. They're
So,
just
well, here's
whenever
my issue. I'm just tired of fucking everybody claiming everything is fucking racism.
I think
Sometimes people are just assholes.
I think anybody that's part of a group wants to be acknowledged as a member of that group. And this doesn't apply to just race or anything. This can apply to the military. This could apply to people that work law enforcement, firefighters,
Mhm.
people that are school teachers. They want to feel like they're valuable, more valuable than everybody else. Everybody comes into work saying that their job is more important than anybody else. I'm pretty sure that somebody at McDonald's is like, hey, fucking burgers don't fly without supply, like like everybody and I think
Wow.
that's about as American as you can get, man. Everybody shows up to work, you know. From if you're an alien looking at Americans, you're going, man, look at all these like different people working together, making it happen and stuff. They're not going to war with each other. There's a couple
Right.
little explosions here and there, but this little tribe is working like a tribe. They're doing things they're in a different way. That's great. But if they zoom in and they're like, oh shit, that's dark, like I know. Like, oh my God, I didn't know it was that bad.
I guess, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, what do y'all think out there, gunline world? Is the generation of new soldiers softer? If so, why? And is it the parents as well? Are the parents softer? Let us know. And the reasons behind it. Now, by softer, yeah, I just mean softer by like, what it sounds like, weak. All right. Not everybody is like that. Not everybody's like that. I mean, obviously, you still got your hard charging motherfuckers out there. I want to get that out, that point there. You still got those motherfuckers that are do the right thing, soldiering up. Got it. Excuse me. But I think that the influx of softer soldiers is higher now. The percentage of softer soldiers has increased because there's always been soft soldiers, weak soldiers. They've always been there. We call them Calf Scouts. They've always shots fired, motherfucker. But they've been there. But now I think they're I'm sorry. I feel that they're in a higher percentage. By the way, motherfuckers that say I feel, I hate y'all. Why do you feel?
I don't have feelings. I'm just gonna repress everything, and then one of these days,
there you go.
I'm just gonna lash out and stuff, and I'm not gonna tell you why.
This here, that's probably the reason we got softer, fucking gentler soldiers.
Yeah,
because I was too hard. Apparently,
put it on me, man. Put it on me. I'll take it. I'll take it.
You know what? At least you're man enough to take it.
No.
Some motherfuckers that be crying and shit. Anyway, dog, I appreciate your time. I really want to stop eating in front of y'all. And as always, it's always a great conversation. I wish y'all could hear us when we just start talking, and I've been wanting to turn on the pod or the recorder as we're having a conversation, but it kind of fucking fucks it up with you are now being recorded. It kind of throws off because we get into some really good conversations. I think
this was a really good conversation. I like this.
So?
This was good. Yeah, it felt good.
All right,
I liked it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see. Let's see if you share it. And among your peers. But anyways, man, hey, as always, it's a great pleasure speaking with you. I guess we never got a Hunt back. He must still be taking a massive shit. And but anyways, hey, shout out to Hunt and thanks for being here. I know you got some shit going on back home. And rest in peace to my Packers season. I'm not gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna be supporting the LA Rams throughout the rest of the fucking season. I would love to see the Bungles and the Rams I'm gonna tell you why I support the Rams. Okay,
Oh, here we go.
that'll be quick. Matthew Stafford. That's it. Matthew Stafford. That's the only reason. All those years that he suffered in Detroit, I think he deserves.
He's due
this.
for one, right? He's
Yeah.
due. Yeah.
I really believe that. You know,
Okay, I can do that because I feel the same way about the Browns, basically.
poor Browns, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was really pulling for the Bills because the Bills are another one that just,
Yeah. They
you
were
know.
like right there, like so many times in the 90s and stuff.
Mhm.
I just
And
want to see them do good.
like this loss hurt. It really hurt a lot with against the 49ers. But you know, because the dynasty, the mystique, the Lambeau Field, it's gone. And it's been gone for me for many years since fucking Manning went in there with the Giants and tore us an asshole.
You picture
know?
with the. Do you know what the Steelers fans feel like? Like they had that. You know, there was like a period of time when they won 2 Super Bowls
Mm-hmm.
in like the 2000s and stuff, and they were like, "Oh yeah, hey, 6 rings, baby, 6 rings." and,
Jesus.
And Tom Brady's like, hold my beer.
For real. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to tell you about. I'm not denying that Tom Brady is the GOAT. I'm not denying that.
Good.
7 rings speak for themselves. And he
Yeah.
didn't just do it with one team. So you can't just say it was the team, it was the coach. No, it was Tom fucking Brady. All right.
Yeah.
It was Tom fucking Brady, and it was Gronk, and it was his team around him. But it's not just one man. But this man, undeniably, you know, as much as he looks like a fucking crybaby bitch on the sidelines and after he gets hit and whatnot, he has 7 fucking Super Bowl rings.
He's 43 years old, man. Like, yeah.
44.
44.
Yeah,
Fuck.
almost 45. Here's the thing, though. Not only that, I don't give a fuck about the age. The man, I mean, there's fucking sergeant majors out there that will fucking out PT anybody in the fucking military. You know, they're just studs. But here's the thing. He went to another team in another conference and fucking that same year took him to the Super Bowl and won it. Now, is there tinfoil there somewhere? Sometimes there is. But 7 fucking rings speak for themselves. You know what? Dan Marino, great quarterback, right? We can all agree he was great, but he will never be in the conversation of a GOAT because he never got a ring. He never got a ring. And now, as far as Aaron Rodgers, MVP, yes, MVP this year. And at least for the fucking regular season. All right. Because the playoffs, one and done at home, bro, it breaks my fucking heart.
Yeah.
You know, it breaks my fucking heart. But I heard of people throwing in Tom Brady for MVP. And I just couldn't agree with that because they're like, oh, well, he has so many more passes, so many more, passes and attempts and all that bullshit. Yeah. How many interceptions has he had all year, by the way? Because I can tell you how many Aaron has, and I can count them on one hand. All fucking year interceptions. There's motherfuckers that have that in one game.
He went, what, 12-4, right?
Yes.
I think what it is,
13.
and I'll finish my tangent here. What it is I think teams that get a bye week, like I think it ruins their fucking flow, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people just like they're not training as hard because now they feel like they've got 2 weeks. There's no pressure from having to compete with like in a few days, studying tape and all that shit. Like it's complacency, unintentional complacency.
You know what I hate to say?
Yeah.
San Francisco's going to win it. You know why? They came in as a 6th seed. They had a win out. You know who did that last? Green Bay, 2010. We were the 6th seed. Everybody counted us out. Ran up in that bitch. Relax. Took out the fucking Steelers. Just saying.
They're not gonna take out the Rams. They're hanging in there. They're like barely.
Bro, our defense brought that shit. Our defense brought that shit. Our offense was what couldn't fucking put the fucking icing on the cake. We started off beautifully, but then that motherfucking fumble by fucking by Mercedes. Then fucking the fucking block, fucking punt, then the fucking
goal.
block field goal. You know, it's like
Hey.
everything was against us now.
Hey, man.
Any given Sunday, bro. Any given Sunday. By the way, I want to throw out there, I started running this morning.
Oh,
I did a mile. My goal is to go down to 200 pounds by Memorial Day.
nice.
So I'm gonna obviously not start off running all the time. I'll be walking with some jogging, but I'm putting this out there in the atmosphere, in the universe. Yo, sometimes for your mental health, just jump on a fucking treadmill or go for a run, and it'll make wonders for you, man. It'll make you feel better. All right. With that said, man, as always, thanks for being here, Urena, man. I really love having you, dog. I really, really enjoy our conversations. Hunt, I wish you would have been here. I would have loved to have heard what you had to say about what we talked about. I know you would have said something about the Cowboys. Them boys.
Damn.
But with that said, man, rounds complete and the mission. Gunline out. Bye, motherfuckers.